Hello, LEC community. I'm Lexi Rios. I'm a marketing manager for the Latinx Education Collaborative. Ruiz, who has been nominated for Latinx Educator of the Year. Hi, Mario. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Good. Good. I'm excited to talk to you today about your nomination. Can you give us an introduction of yourself and speak on your journey a little bit to where you are today?
Sure. I've been teaching in Virginia for the past 10 years. I've worked in a small town, and now I'm in a slightly bigger school, but still kind of still with a small town vibe. But yeah, I went to college at Radford University. So being in the foothills of Appalachia has been pretty much the majority of my career, but it's been a great journey. Now I'm teaching just at a high school, grades 9 through 12, but I do assist with the middle school as much as I can, just so I can build those communications and rapport with the students down there.
Yeah, nice, cool. What subject do you teach?
I teach band, mainly grades 9 through 12. But like I said, I help out with the middle school. And when we do jazz band or marching band, we do have some middle schoolers. So we might get some seventh and eighth graders. Every once in a while, a sixth grader will sneak in there too. But we're all just one big happy family.
Nice, that's awesome. I am a band alum, so I love it. Well, great. Excited to talk to you today. How do you feel about your nomination?
Well, I mean, it's exciting. I saw the email and well, it's like, well, it's probably a spam. And then I looked into it. It's like, no, this is legit. This is awesome. Well, so I'm really excited just so that students thought about me.
Yes, of course. Well, with that, I kind of wanted to read you um some of your nomination. It's a little blurb about why this person nominated you. Um, it might give it away a bit. There's a bit of a personal touch in there, but I think it's okay. It says, he was my mentor in my first year teaching. Then I took on his role as he went to another school. While I didn't continue in that role, he continued to support and mentor me through all of my hardships while also encountering plenty of his own in his new school. The band's reaction when he left spoke for itself. He was incredibly loved at his old school and was readily accepted and respected in his new school. My favorite thing about Mario is that he never compromises authenticity, but also is accepting of all views and ways of life that don't infringe on others' rights. That was just one little part that I kind of wanted to read. It's I think it's nice that this person mentioned, like you said, like you're at an old school and so that they can see like in both environments that you've made quite an impact. How do you feel about that?
Um, I don't know. Like, I just try to be the best person that I can be. I try to make sure that I talk to all the students, reach out to all of them. Sometimes something as simple as saying "Good morning, how are you?" is big for those students. So it's very easy to forget that behind a student ID number, there's also a face. There's also a backstory with that child. So it's important to understand the student. That way, they can work hard for you and work hard in your class.
Absolutely. Yeah, making those personal connections. I think often it's easy for students to go unseen and unheard. And I think once like you said, like as simple as good morning, um, sometimes opens the doors for connections, especially those kids that probably don't want to open up very much. I'm sure it makes them feel um, a little more receptive to that kind of connection. So I have a question. Why does representation matter?
Well, the climate is changing, and we always got to reach out to what is new, what is happening. If we keep on trying to teach the students the same way we've been teaching in the 80s and 90s, I mean, it's not going to be reaching out to all the students. It's not going to be reaching out to not just their skin tone, but also their socioeconomic class, their religion, their background, um, everything. We got to take all of those things into consideration. Um, And something as simple as, oh, I have a Muslim student, I can't buy pepperoni pizza for them. So it's important to just include everybody because, like I said, aside from having a big, healthy, sized band, the students are also exposed to work with people from all sorts of different backgrounds, some that they might not even think that they would see in their lifetime,
Mm,
which is
yeah.
kind of crazy to think about. But we have had students in some of our events for the first time would meet a Muslim student or a Jewish student. Sometimes they would even meet a black student for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, school is one of those places where that exposure happens or where it starts. And I like that you mentioned like being inclusive of everybody because I mean, no matter what you look like as a teacher, like your students most likely will look different than you, and especially to be knowledgeable and educated on like those parameters, like you said, like pepperoni pizza. Like I've definitely known some teachers to like just kind of not consider those things. And I think it contributes to being unseen and unheard for a lot of students. So that's awesome that you recognize those things and try to make sure that you include everybody. I love that. Um, so how can we build the right conditions for the advancement of Latinx youth?
Um, Biggest thing is just making sure that those opportunities are open for everyone. It's not just for the students who can afford tutoring lessons. It's not just for the students who are involved in every athletic activity in the school. It can be everybody, whether if it's that quiet Hispanic girl or that very boisterous Hispanic kid that's doing backflips. I mean, there are opportunities that are open for everyone. So if they want to be a scientist, a teacher, um, those opportunities are out there. And the biggest thing is we just need to let them know that those opportunities are available. Um, there has been some progression with getting the information out there, but sometimes it doesn't reach the parents because we all know sometimes students will grab that flyer and put it in their book bag and forget to show it to their parents. But if we give it to the parents directly, that can open up those possibilities as well, because then those parents can also help encourage the kid, like, hey, you should look into this opportunity.
Absolutely. Yes, I love that. Exposure to opportunities, I think is a big thing. Is you mentioned did you mention that you were in a rural area?
I am. It's kind of rural. I'm outside of Lynchburg, Virginia, in the center of right in the geographic center of Virginia. We're close to it. Before then, I was in Alta Vista, a very small town. I think the population was around 5,000, uh,
Mm,
maybe even less. Now, the Lynchburg area is a little bit bigger. It's home to 3 colleges, but we still have those students that live in farms, in the backwoods, in the rural areas. Some that whose roads are still not paved.
mm. Yeah, yeah. And I imagine like you said, like getting the information out there. I think in some rural areas, some areas tend to be forgotten, and then like where would you get your information from if you live in a small town and you don't necessarily like know how to search, right, for things outside of that area or even just in Virginia in general? I think could be easy to get lost. So having adults around you with the knowledge and wanting to get you those opportunities is definitely important. So my last question is, what keeps you going?
Um, Seeing the kids reach that high level of success that we've been moving towards. There are some days where it's not easy, where it just feels like you're doing the same things over and over again. It's like, come on, we're so close, we're so close. And it's so much easier to just be like, let's just call it a day. Let's just watch a movie. But no, it's not an opportunity to keep on pushing the kids. There are some times where you have to take a step back and um, modify a lesson for the students, um, but still pushing them in that right direction is encouraging because eventually they will succeed. Um, the analogy I tell the kids is like diamonds are forged under millions and millions of years of pressure. But sometimes bread, the dough rises when it's at rest. So I tell the kids, it's
Mm.
like either you, whether you want to be a diamond or a grilled cheese sandwich, just go for it. Like, but don't give up, don't stop. And I have to tell myself that too sometimes.
Yes, I love that. I've never heard that. Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to share with us today?
No, again, I'm just happy to be nominated. I'm thrilled, and I'm happy to see that these opportunities are out there for Latin and Hispanic teachers.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was so awesome to, get to know a little bit more about you. This sounds like a very well-deserved nomination. I will say, like, I have not seen many music teachers come by, and I know, like, male teachers also, are far and few in between. And so I just want to say that I'm so glad to see that representation here today. So, LAC community, I'm sure you have enjoyed getting to know Mario just as I have. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Bye.
It was like us into the blades. We're sitting there like in the arena in Las Vegas, like
When I started this LEC community,